Say my, yeah. H Vito, the one and only, baby.
As far back as I can remember, I always wanted to be a gangster.
Hey yo, Boger, fuck 'em up.
I'm not the same as these niggas, don't get it twisted or say my name with these niggas. Yeah, I'm making plans to get richer, even if it means pulling out the hammer on these niggas. My daughter's a month old, play if you want, I'm finna go bananas on you niggas. Yeah, you got a week to get my dough, I'm out making trips if you not answering a nigga. They got my dog in a slammer for a biscuit. His father a felon, can't even pay his ass a visit. How the judge gon' judge him, man? That's straight up contradiction. I thought only God could judge me. Yeah, I move accordingly, get dealt how I deal with you. A real nigga don't gotta say he a real nigga. This a motion picture, it can't be more real, nigga. Caged in a dungeon, bunch of shooters blowing out the gauge like a trumpet. I ain't had no toys, so they played with the muskets. That's when I had the braids in. It was 05, I cut them shits and let the waves spin. Right before my grandmother died, ain't been the same since. I've been a leader, I've been that nigga since the beginning. I was on fire since jump, they don't wanna let me finish. On point like samurai swords, 2 exorcists came prepared to take your soul. That's an exorcism. I feel the same as LeBron back in South Beach. Won't change nothing about me. Let the doubters doubt me. Let the haters hate. Rap won't be the same without me. What can I say? Cash rules everything around me. I do it all for the cheddar, the cheese. I'm a legend making legacies. Ain't no one ahead of me. I'm a dog, bro, a dog too, with a pedigree. I know some people who alive, but they dead to me. I keep the 5 on the guys, never dead to beef. I close my eyes and pray to survive. What's ahead of me? Ate a lot of rice, steak on the side with the veggies, please. Yeah, we riding dirty, but we looking very clean. I put that shit on everything. Everything's a go, I gotta shine like a wedding ring. Hear me knocking, let me in. Bass knocking, bumping my new shit, I'm smoking medicine. Came from the bottom, but I aim to be the president. Nigga, I aim to be the president. Fuck it, I'm aiming at the president. But you can see, yeah, I aim to be great. Trying to do better in this dangerous place. Don't tempt me, man, I'm in a dangerous state. I won't talk, I just aim for your face. They taking breaks, I'm running laps around them. He think he a challenge, I guess I gotta back him down. And loose with sinking ships, gotta clap him down. And if the nigga don't die, we spin it back around. Then I pray for all of the angels that's gone to wake up one day and all this anger be gone. But what they say ain't kill you, only making you strong. They saying Vito, what's been taking so long? Man, you supposed to be running the city out of state doing tours. I'ma say it again if I ain't say it before. I'm still making it rain, still making it pour. I've been through a lot at a young age, had a lot in my mini mind. Compete when love wasn't genuine. None of these niggas real, my mother told me that many times. I think I heard every time that I spit a line. We feel the pain to reminisce over Steeler games. Once I touch that bag, go buy a jet and feel the plane. I done lost too many angels, I don't feel the same. Fuck talking, I'm just letting niggas feel the flames.
Yeah. Welcome to another episode of Herm Radio, man. If you've been watching the show, then you know who that was that we just heard. That was Ace Vito, Acevito, a real dope rapper, man, out of Boston, Mass, man. Definitely got to check him out, bro. Ace Vito, he got a new project. It's called All From The Heart. But tonight, man, we
that shit was hot.
Yeah, right? We're graced with wonderful guest, man, a really talented individual, leader of the Space Cadets as far as a vocalist. One of the, with my fault. But you know what I mean? Part of a great, amazing band, a really ill rapper individually, man. We're talking about Malachi Elijah, man. How you doing, Malachi?
I'm beautiful, man. Thank you for having me on, bro. I appreciate it. You know what I mean? Having a wonderful day. I got up, cleaned a little bit, ate a little bit. Ain't nothing wrong with that. So I'm feeling good.
Nah, that's the way to be, man. That's the way to be. We appreciate your energy already, man. So, the way that we like to do it on Herm Radio is we like to kind of introduce the artist kind of through their music. So what's kind of a song that you want to play for us that kind of just like introduce us to either Malachi Elijah or the Space Cadets?
Oh, man. You know what? I definitely have to say, definitely that Fruits joint. We just put out Fruits. It's a new song. We did that in partnership. Well, the song is ours, but it's been put out and shared around in part with So Far Sounds. So you know, that's definitely a great song. Showcases all of us as well. Got the band in there too. So yeah, I mean, definitely, you know, bump that joint and, you know, let me know what you think, man.
Absolutely. Let's get right into it, man. So this is called Fruits by the Space Cadets.
Should be on the website. Yes,
Yeah,
sir.
got it right here. All right, let's get right into it. Herm Radio.
This song is for all of those who forget to just live in between creating something, in between going to your job, in between you're stressing. You know, I feel like as people that create stuff, or you know, we forget to live, and that's so simple. It may sound so cliche, but just take the time to, like, you know, be with yourself and have some self-care, you know. So this song is called Fruits. Oh, it's a working title. We'll see. See, I'm drinking more water, eating my fruits. I rest to get recharged up, no lazy moves. I be about my business, I take my time to cruise. I let them snooze, they gon' wake up to me like the sun is shining through. Drinking more water, eating your fruits. You rest to get recharged up, no lazy moves. You be about your business, you take your time to cruise. Let them snooze, they gon' wake up to you. Look, I grind, shine, unwind, rewind. It ain't no pressure, comfortable with what's been on the line. What's on the mind, what's got you feeling so underlined? Errors and trials brought forth so you can endure the miles. Get inspired, inch and feels to take to make some shit that's great. So in the meantime, take a hot bath and exfoliate. Show yourself some love, grab a second plate. Take yourself out on a date. Sip slow on that peppermint tea. Dive in that book you've been meaning to read. Know to succeed, you must take care of what the mind, body, and soul needs. Even if it's a veggie. Yeah, eat that shit. I'm feeling healthy, feeling wealthy, cause I'm drinking more water, eating my fruits. I rest to get recharged up, no lazy moves. I be about my business, I take my time to cruise. I let them snooze, they gon' wake up to me like the sun is shining through.
You get raised by a village just to see outside its limits. But if you sitting on the fence, it really ain't no difference. But now I punch my ticket, no more shadow boxing with this. No, my shit slap when I spit it. I am my only witness, don't need them to admit it. Got what I need to get it, giving and ain't a giving. That's why I found it fitting that this medium feel like a shrink. I was in denial, I was on the brink. No, it's been a while, I'm working out the kinks, judging by the sound of things. You been drawing crowds, you moving out of frame. What you leave behind, they never found the same. Learn what you return is what you count as change. Soon as I get home, you know I'm down the lane. Till then, I'll be round the way. Hey, I got my brothers by my side, I keep in front of mine. I just need to trust to try. Say that it's unspoken, I ain't wonder why. That's the part of me that must have died. Gotta face the music for the speaking cup of
I
time.
see you drinking more water, you eating your fruits. Yeah, you rest to get recharged up. Ain't no lazy moves, no. See you be about your business, and you take your time to cruise. Yeah, well let them snooze. They gon' wake up to you like the sun is shining through.
Hey, hey, you know we feeling it. Low-key over reppin' TSC, you know we been legit. R.I.P. to all my enemies, I've been the perfect fit. Been low street, that number 830, it's so the sense of kid. Hey, and you know we too damn clever. Hey, I keep the pack around me, always cloudy like the weather. Hey, and we only getting better. Hey, these other people lacking, tell them to get it together. Hey, my verses dripping so much sauce. Say, flow like lemon pepper, need a holla every mouse. Say, low Keo always been the boss. Need a got it, what's the cost? Ain't my fault you took a loss.
Hit that flow, hit that flow.
Hey, and shorty trying to kick it. Hey, wanted me to bend on that bag of melody web and try to get it. Hey, and to the top has been my mission. Hey, keeping these people on gas and shooting like Steph and been committed.
I see you drinking more water, and you eating your fruits. I see you rest to get recharged up. Ain't no lazy moves. I see you be about your business, and you take your time to cruise. I let them snooze, yeah. They gon' wake up to me like the fucking sun is shining through now. See, I gotta let them snooze now.
Let them snooze, hey.
fucking sun is shining through now.
Thank you.
Yo, Malachi, man, that was a very powerful performance, man. It was powerful, but it was such a enveloping vibe of like relaxation and just like positivity. You know what I mean? Like from the lyrical content that you set it off with to just like the sonic kind of range that you guys were hitting with. I like how you hit it with first you started off with like your lyrics and all that type of stuff and your flow and all that type of stuff. What up, man?
Yes, sir.
Yo,
Yes, sir.
talented individuals, bro. Yeah. So yeah, I don't even know, but yeah, what was I saying? Damn, yeah. Then the last dude came with the last dude in the end. He came with like that different flow, but it worked. It all came together perfectly, man. You know what I'm saying? Absolutely perfectly. So like, tell us about that song and how that song kind of represents you and the Space Cadets, and man, what are you guys about, man? Malachi Elijah and the Space Cadets.
Man, I think the cadets, first of all, that song, I think it was just one day, Elliot and I were, we had this whiteboard in the living room, and I was starting to just try and get my thoughts out and just write a chorus that, I thought was, I don't know, it's like you never really know how songs will come about, right? But with this one, I remember there was a beat that Elliot was working on. It was just playing in the background, and the beat is it has like a very driving sonic sound to it. So with that, I was just, lyrically, I was just in my head, I was just thinking about, shit, and I think at a point in time, I think I got back into literally drinking more water. Like I don't think I had been drinking enough water. Up until a certain point, I was eating a lot of fruits again, I was eating a lot of mangoes, apples, strawberries, and fruits are big in my life, as they are, I think, as they for everyone.
Yeah.
I don't know, man, that really lyrically, the song, I think for me and I think for the group itself, it really is just a way to bring us back as artists into what I think is that very important phase of like when you're not creating something, kind of like how we are right now. Maybe we're not creating something right now. We're not like being as quote unquote productive as we think we should be. But in that space, in that time, you gotta take care of yourself. You gotta, you should be drinking a lot of water. You should be eating well, eating healthy, feeding your body. And frankly, with as the chorus goes, you shouldn't care about, what other people are thinking or saying, towards you, because that, you're taking that time to show your self-love, to, work on yourself, to improve your own mental health or what have you.
Absolutely.
So I think, from my standpoint and how I was just how I just started coming up with the chorus. Hold on a second, I'm sorry. How I just started coming up with the chorus. It was just out of that, It was just out of wanting to express that as artists we have to relish, I think, as well in the time when we're not creating, to be open to inspiration and to be open to, just to life and what life may have for you, It's kind of like the I hope that wasn't too long of an answer, but I guess that's the most.
Nah, we love long answers on Herm Radio, you know what I mean? Because, very insightful. So, you're talking about self-care as an artist, man, and it's very important because a lot of artists, man, a lot of young, talented artists, it's not really about self-care whatsoever. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And we lose artists. Like a lot of people lose their lives either because they don't take care of themselves or they indulge too much in the wrong thing. You know what I'm saying? So it's like,
for sure.
Like, have you always been in? Yeah, go ahead. My fault.
Well, no, I was just gonna say, and that's what's important. I think, that's one of the more important things about that song. And I think that's what I was saying in the intro of the song as well, is, we can't lose ourselves in that void. And I think I was writing that probably coming out of that cycle of being in that void, Because as an artist, as a human being, we go through that. We can go through that in cycles all the time. So, for me, really that's the energy that you feel in that chorus, and then into my verse, and then I think it feeds into Lord Keo's verse and Yaski's verse, which is, what I mean, where that upswing. It's about that upswing out of the void and into that newness, that freshness, where you're taking care of yourself again. You're being mindful of your body, of your mental, what I mean, and that was really just the message I wanted to convey. What I mean, I think we all did that as well. Yeah.
Yeah, y'all definitely delivered and conveyed that message well. Absolutely, man.
Thank
'Cause, yeah, that's an important message. I like, what I mean? I may or may not look like it, but I'm big on like what I eat, you know what I mean? All that type of stuff. And so you know what I mean? But like Dead Prez, Be Healthy.
Yeah.
I love that song. I put that song on. Like I remember I was a young kid, somebody put that on. I was like, what is this? You know what I mean?
Oh,
But it's like,
I'm not even
songs
hip,
like
I'm
that,
not-
Be Healthy. It's like, what is it, man? I don't want to mess up the lyrics, but it's talking about lentils, fruits, no meats. You know what I mean? Like only,
Oh, yeah.
you know what I mean? Like melly juice in the morning, like all that type of stuff. And so it's like I wasn't
Yeah,
even
bro.
on that type of time when I was a kid. I was eating just Pop Tarts, all that type of stuff all day. But it's like
Right.
it
And none of
inspired me.
Right.
Just like your song, you got a song, I'm sure it puts people in that same zone when they hear that. Like you talking about, yo, just drink
I
some
hope so.
water. I guarantee
Right,
you,
man.
I want to drink water listening to that.
How many times we forget, what I mean, just to, especially when, yeah, man, how many times we forget throughout our day to just take a sip of water, you know what I mean?
Absolutely,
Drink some
absolutely.
water. When's the last time you ate an apple? You had some straw, you know what I mean?
Today,
Yeah.
man. Today I ate an apple, all right? I'm with it.
Yes, sir.
Nah, yeah, all right. Let's bring it back. Let me bring it back, man. Malachi Elijah, man. Space Cadets. So
Yes,
you
yes.
guys, I see you guys traveling. I see you guys doing a lot of things, doing live performances, blessing the stage everywhere you guys go. But what's the origin, man? Like, who is Malachi Elijah and who is the Space Cadets, man? I know you named some of the names, but if you could like tell who everybody's name is, like who you guys are, how long you guys been making music, all that type of stuff.
Yeah, man. So, the Space Cadets consist of myself, Malachi Elijah, Lord Keo, Yaski, Elliot G, Mike Brightly. I don't know, Mike, what? Mike Brightly, we call him Spike. Mike Brightly. And then, and then our boy Jeremy. And Rico, Rico Luciano as well. So it's the seven of us, man, and I think if where I can start, at least in our origin, it came about off of the mindset of Lord Keo and Rico Luciano, man. They laid everything out for us when we were in high school. So Lord Keo, Rico Luciano, and I, we went to the same high school in Potomac, Maryland. I met them. They were at that high school for a little bit. I came into the school when my junior year. They were seniors. They not only are my bandmates, but they're my big brothers in a way. You know what I mean? So, when we were younger, I think they had graduated from high school and then left to go to college. And for them, I think that's when they began to get more and more into music. I know Rico was doing music production, or something happened where he had to switch his major into music production. Lord Keo had been writing a lot and had been, formulating that on his own and in his mindset, getting his raps together and whatnot. So while I was still in high school and they were off in college, they came back periodically, whether over the summer or over like a Christmas break or what have you. And they just began getting me more into it, man. For me, being Malachi Elijah, I mean, for me it was just like I'd always loved performing. I'd done musical theater and I'd done acting and whatnot, a little bit throughout high school. So that performance aspect for me, I'd always loved. But I think the writing and the music of things, I hadn't yet put down, into into a more into life. You know what I mean? I hadn't really done that yet.
Mm-hmm.
So with them, you know, whenever they'd come back for breaks, or you know, they'd be like, "Yo, Mal, like, you know, you got to do this with us," you know, and it came to a point where they had already put out, Lord Keo and Rico had put out a little project, and then, you know, as they were becoming more familiar with it, you know, they brought me into the fold, and we were already great friends. So they're like, "Yo, you got, you know, believe in yourself, you know, you need to write, you need to, you know, be doing this music with us and whatnot." So this is all before I even got to college, right? So this is like,
Wow.
you know, I mean, this is years and years in the making of what we are now. So, you know, they gave me more of that confidence. They gave me a lot of that confidence, and then I graduated. That's Lord Keo, by the way, right there. Lord Keo, he's heading out. But you know, they gave me more of that confidence. So then by the time I graduated high school and I got to college, um, that's where I met Yaski, who was the other the white MC. As a, you know, we ain't gonna pin him down to just that. But that's the best way.
Nah,
You
he
know what
did
I
his
mean?
thing, man. He did his thing, bro.
No, but you know, that's the best
All
way
three of y'all,
sometimes.
man. Y'all compliment each other well.
Right. Thank you, bro. You know, sometimes that's the best way I can pinpoint him, just
Yeah.
in the knowing
Description.
who's who. Exactly, in the knowing who's who. So, you know, my freshman year, you know, I got to school in Boston. Yaski was there as well. We went to Emerson College. You know, and we were at the start of our college time. We were playing soccer there together. But you know, while we were freshmen, you know, we became very close, and you know, we started trading ideas and music back and forth together. You know, we became, you know, more musically close, but also friendly. We became like close friends very fast.
Okay.
So from that, you know what I mean, my friends from home, Rico and Keo, right? So at this point, I'm in college in Boston. Rico and Keo, they're in college, in their prospective colleges, and I'm now friends with Yaski. So Rico and Keo, they come visit me up in Boston. And then Rico and Keo, you know, the founders of the cadets, really, the founders of the Space Cadets, then they meet Yaski, right? You know, they mesh together, they start fucking with each other, and then Yaski, Rico, and Keo become friends. Boom. So then we got Elliot G, who's our manager and one of our producers. Me and Elliot G became very close over one summer while I was living in Boston. You know, we were doing a lot of the open mic circuits, a lot of, you know, you just going around the city of Boston doing a lot of stuff. We became very close. So then from that relationship, then Rico, Keo, and Yaski, I think became closer to Elliot G. You know what I mean? And then that began to form together, right? All very organic and natural. So then Elliot's from Connecticut, and you know, he had two friends, Mike and Jeremy, and they're both producers in the Space Cadets now, and they're guitarists and a bassist. But then Elliot introduced us to Mike and Jeremy, so then we became closer friends, and the Space Cadets just kind of, we began steamrolling, man. It's a long history, bro, for real, and you know, I'm hoping that it continues, but you know what I mean, it just, man, it began just like to avalanche, bro. You know what I mean, like, you know, friends meeting other friends, you know, everyone kind of being closer together, you know, having a mutual love for music, but a mutual respect and love for each other. And I think that's really just what we've been building the Space Cadets off of now, to the point where, you know, we're pretty much all living together. Rico still lives in back home in DC, but he's gonna be moving up here soon to New York. But you know, now all six of us are in New York together, living together, making music together, performing together, and that all took, you know, from that time in like 2014, 2015 up until now, where, you know, all of us were spread out. You know what I mean? Rico was in school in Baltimore. Lord Keo was in school in North Carolina. Obviously, me, Elliot G, and Yaski were in school in Boston. And then we had our other two brothers. They were in school, you know, spread out. So it all really, like you asked me earlier, like when did we move to New York? Funny enough, our whole, you know, what I mean, the big like Space Cadets type of group you see has only been together like this since like October. You know what I mean?
Wow.
Yeah, man.
And then all of this happened soon after, huh?
Yeah, man. I mean, yeah, man. We've been fortunate enough. I think once we moved to New York, I think we wouldn't be anywhere without the foundation. I think that we built in Boston. I think that's the most formative. I mean, that was the most formative time for me, especially very formative years for me. Not only as an artist, not only as a person of color, but as a human being, very formative. And meeting just so many other incredible artists, incredible people, I mean, such as yourself, such as Aaron King, such as
shout out Aaron King.
Yeah, man. I mean, the whole bridge side. I mean, we even talk about this out here. I mean, like when you look at certain fundamental people, I mean, like that's a name, Aaron King, right there, that pops up, because he brought me into a fold of like, okay, this is a community here in Boston. There is a hip hop community that's not so exclusive but inclusive. Aaron King showed me that a lot of times. Me and Elliot and Yaski, what we were doing, I think, in Boston, playing house shows and trying to get our stuff together, that fed into us because we wanted to be as inclusive as possible. I mean, that's what the Space Cadets are built upon. I mean, it's that love, it's that inclusivity, it's making people feel, like, I mean, like, we're making people feel like we're all together, and we are all
it's a community.
100%, bro, 100%.
And it's kind of like when you guys perform, it's kind of like bringing the whole room into a part of that community, it seems.
100%, bro. That's what it is, man. I mean, it is the most important thing, I think, whether in a performance aspect, I think, as well, where I mean, there should never be a divide between, I think, the persona of an artist and those of like what you may call like a fan or someone that's watching. You know what I mean? I think for us, what we do well is that, again, it's just bringing everyone into that Cadets family, whether it be the 15 minutes we have on stage, whether it be a half-hour set, what have you. It's about, allowing people to kind of all fall into that fold with us, and just feel comfortable, feel like they have a family, feel at home. Because I mean, that's how I want to feel. Shit, what I mean, that's how I want to feel.
We all do. Even people that maybe feel like, nah, man, forget that. They want that too. Some part of everybody wants to belong to something. So
exactly,
and especially something that's positive, something that's uplifting. You know what I mean? And dope and cool. You know what I'm saying? If you can take all that and bring it together, that's, you know what I mean. Everybody. So I definitely believe in you guys, man. It's really dope, man. Your music. And speaking of that, I want to keep it moving. I want to get into some more music. So
yes, sir.
What's another track? What's the next track you want to play?
Man, next track, I may have to pull some from my personal book a little bit.
Okay.
Definitely you should bump that song Layaway, produced by Elliot G and Mike Brightly. I think y'all fuck with that. You know what I mean? If you just put that song out, yeah. And the video's cool too.
Where's the video? It's on YouTube.
That should all be on the website, but the song itself is on Spotify and all that. Yeah.
Because I see the song. Oh yeah, I see it. My fault. I see it. Right.
Layaway, yeah. Video done by Jake Mitchell, man. Incredible director. Incredible. You know what I mean? So, yeah, man. Also went to Emerson too. Also went to school with him, and definitely brought that vision to life, man.
Yeah,
blessed,
Emerson, man. Dope college, man. Got some history like involving the hip hop and the music community in Boston, man. I might want to ask you a couple questions about that later, yo.
Oh yeah, please do, man. Please do.
All right, let's get right into it. So this is Layaway by Malachi Elijah.
Let's go.
I got long days, longer nights, ain't sleeping good, it's only right. My stress is up and working hard, I know it's been a minute. I got long days, long nights, ain't sleeping got long days, longer nights, ain't sleeping good. It's only right, my stress is up, but working hard. I know it's been a minute. I got
Long days, long nights, ain't sleeping good.
Gamma did past. I never really dealt with that. I'm staring at old photos in the kitchen, looking at time that passed, a timeless past, cloudy future. Present day is in between, took for granted what family means. I was rapping about it, but truly neglecting simple things. My mind's been cold and dark shit. I've been waiting for my day in spring. Only love I want is yours. I hope that I grew out of flames. Even when I'm saying that, I saw a nice body and was like, damn, I hope they notice me. On average, I'm at 5 hours of sleep. I wish I could take a trip, but the bag's under my eyes. Show you how far I've been. I've laid obsessing over real problems or bullshit on my phone. Either my mind flows with the lyrics or I'm overthinking the song. And I've been wrong to my benefit cause it helped me to write. But I've been right to my detriment because it led me to spite. And in hindsight, I know there's times where I came up short and didn't make up for it. Buried problems deep in the soil. I got long days, longer nights, ain't sleeping good. It's only right, my stress is up and working hard. I know it's been a minute. I got
Long days, long nights, ain't sleeping good.
I got long days, longer nights, ain't sleeping good. It's only right, my stress is up and working hard. I know it's been a minute. I got
Long days, long nights, ain't sleeping good.
my head's been lost for so long in this daydream. My soul's been caught in limbo, I'm stuck in the in-between. How things seem, what's the value of perception? I'm letting go of the nonsense. Problems clouding my judgment, what dims the light of my chakra? I'm waking up in the morning, directionless with my actions. I'm pushing myself to get up, get out my funk, make shit happen. I'm meditating more often, taking times on my problems. Answers don't happen overnight, but I'm in this regardless. Been feeling more like a target, my mind's taking these hits as my soul's gone through a beating within myself. I'm retreating, so I sit up and feel the sun through my window and close my eyes and clear my mind, repair my mental. My soul has been hard to find for quite some time. Anxiety and coping with the shit my mother warned me about. But I'm not saying that I'm sober, I just recognize my demons as we pass in these J's and fade away. Haven't been having dreams at night, I live them in my days.
Long days, long nights, ain't sleeping. Long days, long nights, ain't sleeping. Long days, long nights, ain't sleeping good. Long days, long nights, ain't sleeping. Long days, long nights, ain't sleeping. Long days, long nights, ain't sleeping good. Long days, long nights, ain't sleeping good. Long days, long nights, ain't sleeping good. Long days, long nights, ain't sleeping good.
Word, man. Yo, straight up, man. Beautiful song, man. I really enjoyed that track, bro. Like, you know what I mean? Like, the musicality, the content. So I want to get straight into this. I want to ask you, like, what? So you talking about? What'd you say? Long days, long nights, ain't sleeping good. Was that?
Yeah, bro.
So what's that mean, man? What were you thinking when you made that song?
Oh man, you know, man, again, yeah, man, it's gonna be a long answer, man. You know that song for me, you know, I was living in Boston, I was living in Jamaica Plain at the time, and I don't know, man, it came about. I was definitely in just a very, I think, depressive state. You know, I think I was. Man, it's funny because I wouldn't to say that like I'm not that person anymore is not correct, right? I think I've grown from that person, but for me, I was just tired, man. I was so tired. I was, you know, I was confused. I was, I was unmotivated at times. You know what I mean? I didn't feel on the mark of who I can be.
Yeah.
Who I should, the type of person I wanted to be. And I think, I mean, I don't even know how old I was. I'm 24 now, so I probably wrote that song when I was like 22, 23, 20, probably 21, 22. But the long days, longer nights, and sleeping good, it's only right. My stress is up, but I'm working hard. I know it's been a minute. That was, for me, it was really a call to all of my loved ones, to my friends, for just giving a reason, you know what I mean, of why, they may not have heard from me in a little bit, of why, I've been feeling sad and just like very low and very
Wow.
depressed.
So you use this kind of as a platform to actually like get a message across to like people that's actually in your life?
I mean, of course, man. Like that. I mean, for me, bro, like truly, man. Like that song, especially in the chorus, right? Because how I wrote the chorus, especially, was like I also wrote it. I think about trying to find my faith again, right? So it didn't really come across when I recorded it, but the chorus for me was like, long days, longer nights, ain't sleeping good. It's only right. My stress is up. I'm working hard. I know it's been a minute, God. Because for me, even in that time, I was like, damn, I know it's been a minute since I've sat and meditated or prayed or like tried to focus on, you know what I mean, trying to focus on my faith and maybe falling back on my faith rather than feeling like I'm racing and not feeling my center. And I think a part of that song as well too was a way of me dealing with the death of a cherished loved one, man. My Gamma man, and that's the first line in the song. That song was definitely a way of me, I think dealing with that, saying it, seeing that right out in front of the open for me, saying those words, Gamma passed. I never really dealt with that, and that was the truth, man. There was a point, especially I remember after her funeral, that I was literally, my Gamma lives on Carroll Street in New York, where she did, and that was like 10 minutes from where I am right now. So at the time of her death, I really was in her kitchen, looking at an old photo book, right, and just seeing the house that she had built up, the people that had come in and out through generations. And I was just like, damn, man, it just hit me like that, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
What's the line? Again, we did pass, never really dealt with that. Staring in a photo, looking at time that passed. It was a timeless past, crazy future, something like that. Present days in between. I mean, in those lyrics, man, I was clouded, man. I was tired. My judgment was definitely like cloudy a little bit, and I mean, I was going through it.
Yeah.
Best way I can say that, brother. Yeah, man.
That's a real healthy way to deal with it, man. That's a real healthy way. You know what I mean? Like, I also, my grandmother raised me. She was like the most important family member, one of the only family members I really, really had. You know what I'm saying? And when she passed, it's like I probably wrote so many songs just thinking about her. So it's like, but it's like I can understand that. I want to ask you something though, kind of related, but kind of a different kind of take on that. So you said that this was a few years ago when you kind of wrote this, and it's kind of a place where you was at. You was living in a different place. Now, you know what I mean? We all go through struggles. We all go through ups and downs. That's life. You know what I mean? So it's like, but it's like, obviously you really have come into yourself and you've really kind of been on your path and finding your way since then. And like, I know obviously before then, but like since then you've been going up. You've been doing great things. So it's like, what would you of today, like when you listen to that song and you go back, like what is the communication between you of today and you of then? Like, if that makes sense.
Wow. That's a beautiful question. It's an amazing question. I think, wow, it's a great question. Shit, man. And you said it perfectly, man. I'm still finding my way. I'm still, that song still holds true because, the nights are still long, the days are still long, mentally, sometimes physically. But, we pushed through it. Wow, that's a great question. I think my communication to that self, be patient, take your time. I think, be calm, be still. Don't, I think a lot of it, yeah, it just don't be so hard on myself, man. Even, here, I was still in college, I was still in undergrad, at least in the context of time, you know what I mean? Like I didn't necessarily have all the responsibilities I have now. So I think when I would, it would just be, to that self, man, just take, just breathe, take your time, see the bigger picture. I think of where I was at in those moments. Yeah, be present, where I think people have such a hard time with just being present, staying present. So I think a lot of times we think that if we're someplace else, if we have this, or that'll be our happiness, or I mean. And I think during that time, man, I think that might have been something I was going through too. Is I was just trying to find what makes me happy, like what is it, and it wasn't the vices that I thought it was. What I mean? It wasn't the things that maybe I was leaning on at the time. So I think, yeah, man, just to be present, sit, think, just breathe, take your time, don't race so much. Yeah, that was a beautiful question, man. Thank you.
Nah, no doubt, man. Because I learn. If I ask that, I'm trying to learn, and I want anybody that relates to this, as I relate to it, to also learn from your insight and your journey, as we all can. That's what communication is all about. Me sitting down with you right now, that's what it's all about. Like, if I could hear your story, see where you're at now, hear about where you, even though like back then, from the outside looking in, you just doing a dope music video. Like, you know what I mean? It's like, yo, he's doing this thing. But in your mind, you're like, yo, I'm actually dealing with, as an artist, you're like, yo, I'm actually dealing with something. This is what it looks like. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, man. Oh, yeah, man. That's facts, man. And, that's funny, because it's funny you say that, because that's definitely been the trend, especially from that time. If I could just say this again, if I could just say this, kind of put it into context, Elliot G and I were working, we were working on an album that has since, been shelved for other things, for the time being. But at that time, when that song was written, Elliot and I were working on an album, and that album's theme was very much centered around, the different facets of my life at that point, and how I was feeling about things, how I was dealing with certain things, different, whether it was people or milestones that were going on in my life. So that song in particular, and then another song called Push Through, they were both written in that context of like, okay, like this is how I'm feeling, this is how like I need to, be dealing with it, so and so, this, like, how can I deal with it? So even to watch those videos, and the videos were shot beautifully, and I think the song holds up well also. I think it's aged well. But looking back at those, I was definitely like, damn, like I was writing all that because I was trying to put it in a project that really encapsulated, I think, the turmoil that I think I felt, but also a lot of the elation and the happiness that I had during that time as well. And since then, the album, we're working on other releases, and I think we're gonna, we'll swing back to what that album's idea was.
Yeah, I should.
But to put out those songs as singles, and to put the videos out, we knew we had to do that. So, yeah, man, I'm glad, I'm glad they aged well, man. I'm glad you appreciate them, and thank you, man. I appreciate that, really.
No doubt, man. And that being said, man, let's get into another track.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
What's next?
Oh man, we gotta bring it back to a group joint. You know what I mean? I had a little spotlight there for a little bit, but
got to.
Shucks, man. You got any suggestions, brother?
What y'all played so far?
We played the mastermind, the craftsman himself, Elliot G, right here.
What's up, man?
We played Layaway and Fruits.
I think Warm Wind or Living Drugs if you want to really throw it back, because that's still a classic.
Oh yeah.
That's one of our seminal early.
So love.
Was great.
I like that one.
So love.
We got some options. We got some choices going right now. I think I'm gonna go with Warm Wind. I think I'm gonna go with Warm Wind. Warm Wind's a great song, shot well in a friend's backyard in Cali, for our LA sessions.
I'm looking for that one. So
okay.
Is that one of the small ones at the bottom?
Nah, it's the big one. It's like it's under Layaway and Push Through.
I see it. My fault. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
All right, so we're gonna get right into it. So this one is called "Warm Wind" by Space Cadets.
Yes, sir.
Look at him, man. That's the future, man. That's the truth. That's the truth right there. Tell him, E. Tell him.
Remember being on the bottom, and now we look past y'all and see into the future.
Hey.
So there's no looking back. I remember being on the bottom, and now we look past y'all and see into the future. So there's no looking back. Get up.
This little Keo, the girl black Neo, bang, bringing the pain, going insane like an evil. I thought that they do, I'm free to people. Damn it, it's a shame, but it'll change and they need you. It's been a minute since I've been a villain.
Hey.
All these niggas rolling out and they fucking feelings.
Hey.
I'm just trying to cash out, but I'm on my business.
What?
Staying focused on my own, about to get the riches. Hey, I'm new to the game, I surf my own wave. A nigga just trying to get paid. I work 9 to 5, I hustle, I grind. You know I still gotta provide. The game by my side, they been on the ride. The time is when we gon' preside. Been floating so high, just living good lives. Know you been feeling the vibes.
I almost gave up the movement. I had to make some improvements. Now I'm finding solutions. Ain't nothing to it, just push your heart through it. In the building like AC, we coolin'. I'll show you how real rappers do this. Feeling so fluid, move with the breeze in the agua. Love it when she go flowing like lava. Taking my time with the groove, cause I know I got nothing to lose. I got nothing to prove to these niggas. Critics or bitches, whoever don't fuck with the music. Here to undo this and start it from scratch. Grew up on culture, we all in it back. Cutting up trees, we ain't cutting no slack. Don't be talking about pack if you ain't trying to match.
Hey, mind over matter, the model. Living my foot in the throttle. Hey, hey, life is like spinning the bottle. Every day is a new novel. Hey, hey, mind over matter, the model. Living my foot on the throttle. Hey, hey, life is like spinning the bottle. Every day is a new novel. Hey, hey, mind over matter, the model. Living my foot on the throttle. Hey, hey, life is like spinning the bottle. Every day is a new novel. Hey, hey, mind over matter, the model. Living my foot on the throttle. Hey, hey, life is like spinning the bottle. Every day is a new novel. Hey, 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 hey.
I came with the dripping, the dripping on drop, dripping on stop, focus on guap, raising our stock to provide for my family's my #1 job, and the people who raised me, I'm raising them with me. St. Croix to the city, Jamaica, DMV, home is a part of me, home is the world. They want you to crack just to get to your pearls, get to your heart, keep your mind in the world. Don't stray from your vision, fall into the vision. Remember your mission, make it to make it, don't fake it to make it. Don't budge when they push you, they want you to break it, want you to crumble, they want you to fall. Take a look in my eyes, you'll see it all. Days I was tired, days I was down, days I was sad, days I was pounding. Remember being on the bottom, and now we look past y'all and see into the future. So there's no looking back. I remember being on the bottom, and now we look past y'all and see into the future. So there's no looking back. Yeah, so there's no looking back now. Yeah.
So there's no looking back now.
Why would I stop? Why would I quit? I will not quiet down, I will not sit. Need to stay focused and leave them in dust. But it's my faith in God as I do it myself. Why would you stop? Why would you quit? You shouldn't quiet down, you shouldn't sit. Need to stay focused and leave them in dust. But it's my faith in God as you doing yourself. Now why would you stop? Why would you quit? You shouldn't quiet down, you shouldn't sit. Need to stay focused and leave them in dust. But it's my faith in God as you doing yourself.
Hey.
Malachi, man, yo. I'm telling you, all the music you play, man. I'm loving all the music you play, but that one right there, that one right there is my personal, like, what I'm gonna play it 100 times by like the end of the summer at least, man. I'm telling you.
Let's go. That's what we love to hear.
I just got the new car. That's going like that's in rotation, man. Like I'm telling you, bro. From the content, I'm just in tune with what you're saying. To just the vibe, the musicality was Who was that on the drums?
That's Groovy E right there, baby. That's Elliot
That's
G.
Was he
Yeah,
what we heard? Was that actually him playing?
Oh yeah, Elliot. Come on, baby. Come on now.
I'm saying like that was live. That was you playing live that we actually heard, right?
Yeah, man. So what I do is I just run back the drumless instrumental, and then we just drum over top of it. You know.
Word. That was clean, man. That was clean. I want to ask. I got this question, right? So, in a lot of your videos and in everything we hear and see, there's the live performance aspect, man. So, like a lot of artists, like even me myself, I'm really into like as being a recording artist. A lot of people I know, like, let's get in the studio. But it's a whole nother thing when you're actually up there as like a live artist and a live band, right? How do you guys do it so well, and like what is it that you guys like about performing live?
Man, so I mean, you know, I feel like, you know, I've always been a big hip hop fan. You know, when I met Mal and Yask, I was like, oh, these guys can actually rap. But guess what? There's a lot of guys that can actually rap, you know. So I think we wanted to set ourselves apart initially, you know, and go up there and do something other than rapping over your beats. Definitely not rapping over your masters. You know, that's the worst. I can't stand that. So yeah, man, that's always been our thing, and just we've been leveling up since then. So we started on the pad, then we were able to bring in a couple of my boys and kind of do the trio 3-piece thing.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, that's it, man. We just want to be different.
Yeah, man. Said perfectly. That's
and you
what
can
it's about.
express. You can be so much more expressive. You know, if you're in a beat, like you're grid, you're locked into like, all right, this section's coming up now. I got to get to that section. But if you're live, you know, if Mal wants to go on the fly, go a couple extra bars, take some space, you know, you can do all that. So
and that's what we love
especially with the live instruments, right?
Oh yeah, and that, you know, that's what I think that's what we're coming into now. Especially, you know, we've been fortunate, you know, to have a couple, you know, to have some good shows while we've been in New York, and you know that there was that transition period where we were moving away from the pad, and then, you know, getting more into our instrumentation as well. And I think that just, you know, that just allows for more creativity, and, you know, we're able to practice more as a band, and we get more in sync with each other. And you know, I think if I could speak personally, I guess performing, you know, all of my favorite performers have always been incredible performers, you know, like Michael Jackson or Freddie Mercury. Freddie Mercury is definitely one of my, I'd say, biggest inspirations, or even like a Bob Marley. I mean, you see them live, and obviously their music over wax or over recording is great, but then when you have the live aspect of things, and you're able to, like I said beforehand, you know, we were talking about, you know, bringing people into the fold, making people feel like, you know, they're cadets, which they are, and, you know, they're family at that point, especially during live performances. But I think it's about, you know, you have to keep people on their toes, and you know, in a performance aspect, that's what I like to draw from, is, you know, that my Freddie inspiration, or like a Bob Marley, where the music is, you know, just as, you know, just as a part of us, as, you know, I don't know, like, I don't know. You know what I mean? Though, it's, you know,
exactly
it's
what you mean. I know exactly what you
mean.
mean.
Yeah,
give them a reason to come out to the show and not just stream you. You know?
Yeah, because a lot of people be up there, like you said. Some people rap over their entire songs. You know what I mean? And it's different. Depends what type of music you got and all that type of stuff. But there's a lot of people that are up there, even if they're not rapping on their own songs, it's like, yo, I'm just saying the words. But it's different when you guys up there. I noticed like the clothing you guys wear seems to be part of it. Because it's like you guys seem to be somewhat coordinated. I don't know if you like if that's just how y'all do it. If it's like, but it's like a whole.
Yeah, we try.
Yeah, it's like a whole like thing. You guys are up there, like almost like it's like a spiritual type of thing, almost like, man, like a spiritual type of vibe. You know what I'm saying?
Thank you, man. It warms our hearts, really.
Yeah. All right. So let me ask this. We're in the middle of, you know, virus, pandemic, all that type of stuff. Like,
yes,
it really makes a big difference for entertainers, especially live entertainers like you guys, man. But like, assuming this calms down, assuming we go back to some sort of normal life, like what's next for you guys? What's next for the Space Cadets and for Malachi?
I mean, you know, I guess for me personally, it's just, you know, seeing how we can improve as a band, seeing how we can improve as performers. You know, that I think, just speaking personally, that, you know, that's where I like to take that's where I like to see where my responsibilities lies. You know, how can I, you know, whether working closer with E or working with, you know, with Lord Keo and Yaski and on the performance aspect, or even with, you know, Mike and Jer. You know, I think what we have next is just how can we become better performers? That's what we've been talking about a lot. It's how can we make our shows more dynamic? How can we make people, you know, after the show, is their retention for our music gonna hold? You know what I mean? Like, yeah. So I think for us, what moving forward and personally moving forward is becoming a better performer on the live aspect, becoming more dynamic that way. And then I think behind the scene, you know, off stage, I think it's finding our sound, honing in on, you know, who we are, what our message is, keeping our message strong. You know, I think it's becoming, I think, more dynamic as a group, and the sonically what you hear, and you know, I think, you know, I mean, Elliot could speak to this as well, probably a little bit more concisely than I could, but I think, you know, you know, it's singles coming, it's music coming, it's a lot of shit.
And you said a minute ago, you said like you just been in the studio a lot, and a lot of artists are studio focused, and I think, you know, one thing we need to work on is like actually putting out our music. So that's what we're doing now. You know, we've been taking this time, kind of a forced hiatus from our live shows to do that. We definitely feed off the live energy, so it can be tough creatively, right, to find the same inspiration. But basically now we're in the mode of just finishing songs that we've had written for years. You know what I'm saying?
I got you.
Things like Warm Wind even, or like Soon, or stuff like that, you know.
And as soon as we can get back to the shows, you know, we're right back there. You know,
yeah, I bet you guys are eager to get back to it.
Oh yeah, man.
Yeah, man, very much.
I know I'm gonna be rusty when I get back up to it, man. I'll be like,
nah, you'll shake that off though. Ain't no thing, brother. It's
I'll be like, yo, yeah, man. People gonna have their masks on and stuff. It's not gonna be the same. No, I'm just playing. Yo, all right, man. Yo, Malachi, man, this has been an absolute pleasure so far, man. I want to play one last track by you, bro, by the crew, whatever you decide. You know what I mean? Come back and like say our goodbyes, let them know like what's new for you and all that type of stuff. So like,
yeah, bro.
What's one track you want to leave them with?
Can I leave with Nights? Is that okay?
You should leave with Nights. You're sliding on.
I'll leave you with Nights, brother. Nights over LA.
Nights over LA.
Yeah, it's right under Warm Wind. Yeah, man.
You like LA?
Yeah, man. You know, LA was fun. Again, man, that might be a bigger interview question, but a bigger time. But you know, LA was good, but it was an experience, good and bad. I'll leave it at that.
All right, word, man. We're gonna have to ask you that next time, man.
Yeah. But you'll hear some of it. Nights over LA and Nights over LA shares a little bit of what my experience in LA was. So
okay,
you know, maybe you'll. Yeah.
All right, word. So let's get right into it. Malachi Elijah, Nights over LA, Herm Radio.
You know what it is. Hey, Kobe. Are you serious? I was like,
I've been going through it. All the stress and bullshit makes me wanna lose it, but something about the music has got me pushing through it. These dreams are worth pursuing, these fantasies are cruising. Magic in the movement, lightning in the moment. Baby bad, she owns it. I stop to sniff the roses. I'm chilling with the Joneses, egos overdosing. This is stronger potion, powers of the ocean, powers in her motion. I'm falling or I'm floating, I'm drowning or I'm stroking. Ooh, that thing is poking. Damn, she saw me notice. She's smiling cause I know this shit. I've been losing focus. I've been feeling hopeless. I'm taking higher doses. LA's been stressing me out. It's a hard pill to swallow. People choking on clout, but losing sight of our worth in a dollar amount. I got lost in the rise. I was found in the clouds. Money, lust, weed, liquor. That's a couple of count. Vices, devices used to heal and bruise. See, I got nothing to lose. Got something to do. Got something to prove. Keep up. Let me show you the groove. Smooth, nice and buttered. How I've been on the road. Remember to take my time when I'm out on the stroll down memory lane or yellow brick roads. Thinking about how this life just comes and goes in cycles, seasons, reasons to love each breath. But why does life seem worth less to death? Another legend taken up to heaven, losing our brethren, those that we should break bread with. Shit senseless, destroying ourselves with violence, overdosing on drugs and silence. Gone too soon, I hope I see you when I walk the moon. Hope you know this next stage for you, and I pay my dues, make my moves to the top of the summit. Hope I never have to plummet, but if I do, well, let it be with grace. And I was able to conquer all the fears I was too scared to face. Be the best that you can today. Don't hesitate, oh, just make your way. I said be the best that you can today. Don't hesitate, yeah, just make your way, just make your way. One more time, I said be the best that you can today. Don't hesitate, just find your way. Oh, be the best that you can today. Don't hesitate, just make your way.
Yo, real nice, Malachi, man. Real uplifting music, bro, man. You had me cracking up when you jumped out the bushes, man. You had me cracking up when you jumped out the bushes in the beginning, man. Like,
thanks,
yeah,
bro.
Real dope vibe, real uplifting, man. Real uplifting track.
Thank you, bro. With that shot, man, I was adamant on getting that shot because I think
that was the best way to set it off.
We may have shot that beginning part at least maybe like 3 times at least. Yeah, 3 takes of it, and I was like, no, this though it feels corny right now, I know that visually, you know what I mean, it'll be cool. You know, it's the small things like that I really like as well.
Nah, you could just chop up that one segment right there and just put that out, like everybody be like, yeah, I want to hear this song, man. Nah, for real. It's just good energy though. Like, yo, all right, so like for all the music I heard tonight, man, like obviously I've heard this music before, but like sitting back and like really sitting down and like listening to some of the catalog and like just vibing out, hearing the message behind the music. It's just real uplifting music, man. It's good positive energy. So like, man, I would definitely love to see a Space Cadet show if I was ever like in the vicinity, assuming things go back to normal, which they will. You know what I mean? It's like I definitely got to come check you out. I definitely think that anybody that's out there that's trying to like, you know what I mean, that needs to like just a dope band, definitely should look you guys up, should book you guys, you know what I mean? Absolutely. You know what I'm saying?
Thank you, bro.
Like,
thank you so much.
You see what happened with the Roots? Like the Roots, like, you know what I mean? Like,
you can't even bring up the Roots without E blushing, bro. The Roots is like, you know what I mean?
That's the vibe I get. Like, I'm not saying musically it's completely different. Y'all do your own thing, but as far as like people coming together, so many dope entities. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And you tell me the story about how this has been since high school and everything, man. So it's like, yeah, bro. Like, honestly, out here, man, everybody knows about y'all. Y'all have, like, a big buzz, and I'm sure that it's, like, I'm sure y'all have a great fan base already, man, but I just want to see that thing grow, man. It needs to just grow and grow until y'all are really, like, in the spotlight of, like, you know what I mean, the world, you know, hopefully, bro. You know what I mean? Because it's dope music. It's real dope energy, man. Like, I'm really vibing with the message, and it's lyrical. You hitting them with them bars, man.
Good, bro. And I know lyrically, I was hoping that lyrically you give me that stamp of approval too, man. You know what I mean? You're definitely one as well where, you know what I mean, your lyrics, your personal lyrics, you know, they never stray from being philosophical. They never stray from sending a message, you know what I mean? Especially any song of yours that I've heard, man, it's always driven forward a message, something to think about, something positive, but also, you know what I mean, something to like I said, just think about, man. I think that's the point of our music. You know what I mean? That, you know, man.
Absolutely. I agree with that, and that's why your music resonates with me, because I can relate to it. It's like that's what I need from my music. I need a message, but yeah, let's not leave without that being said. Malachi Elijah got bars, man. He goes in like just if you just did the acapella joint, bro, we'd all be like bobbing our head the same way. You know what I mean? Because just off the raps. You know what I mean? So that's one of the things that's just another strength that you guys got, man. But yo, man, all the music was dope. Thank you so much for sitting down with me. I know you guys got a lot going on, all that type of stuff. I want to ask you.
Going on.
Yeah, well, you know what I mean. You know what I mean? Video game tournaments, I don't know, whatever. But it's, but bro, is there anything that you want to leave them with? Can you remind them like what the website is, how to find the music, anything you guys got coming up, or anything like that?
Yeah, man. Website is spacecadets.com. SPACECADE7s.com. You know, man, I want to leave people with, just have a wonderful day. If you're watching this, have a wonderful night. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for giving our music a chance. Give it a chance if you haven't yet. You know what I mean? I just, no, man, I hope that the music speaks for itself, and I hope that it continues to age well as we get older, and, I hope that, I don't hope, because I know I have the faith in us, but that we continue to provide that type of feeling of inclusivity, the message of strength, of strength in community, in love, in peace, in yourself, in your human spirit, whatever faith you may follow, and power in that as well. That's it, man. Just be safe and be present, and listen to music. Not It doesn't have to be our music, but just listen to music. Because I've been listening to so much music, man. It's been helping me out a lot during this time, and if our music can do that for someone, then that's what it was meant for. You know what I mean? Truly, truly.
Hey,
yeah.
man, you're doing your job well, Malachi, for real, man. All the guys.
Thank you.
Man. Yo, major
Thank you,
salute.
bro.
I appreciate you sitting down with me, man. Keep me
Thank you, man.
updated about like what's going on. Hopefully, I gotta come out there and check out a show in the future, man.
Man, please, bro. Please, man. You got a family here, brother. You know what I mean? You got friends here, and you know what I mean? That's all I'm on. So I appreciate that. I really, really appreciate it. Seriously,
Word,
man.
bro. Y'all appreciate you, man, and we'll talk soon. All right.
I hope so, brother. All right, y'all.
All right, bro. One love.
One love.
All right, man. Yeah, man, real dope episode. Definitely check out the Space Cadets, man. Herm Radio. We about to wrap this season 1 up, man. But, y'all, so many dope artists, man. Malachi Elijah, check them out. Space Cadets, we out.